Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Mr. Bravo's workshop. In our last episode and this episode, during the filming, I decided to halve this episode, so I've just come back to put another intro into the video. So we are continuing on today from yesterday's episode in the marking out or the cutting out of the stickers. Okay, let's get on with the video and see how it goes. And I was looking at it going, what is wrong there? There's something not quite right. Let's put that line through. I'm just kind of eyeballing that. Actually, let's not eyeball it. Let's mark it properly. Well, there it is there, our 21 line mark. Let's put that on, and overall, let's go slightly past it. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Now that makes a huge difference. So I kind of rub this line out, but you can still see it. Now if you take that line and go from there to there, see how it changes everything? So we need this line in, and then that will create the blue just underneath here, which is why we have these two lines in the first place. So we're going to put this one line in, but some of it is going to be white and some of it's going to be blue up against the black on the other side here. So while we're here, let's now put this line in, and we'll go over it a couple of times to make it slightly darker so it does kind of stick out. So then when we put our blue across here, that's how much blue you're going to have, pretty much somewhere almost just like that. It's very minimal, but it is on the ship, and that's how we get it. And obviously this side will be black from here forward. Yeah, are we happy with the line the way that is? Let me just double check that. The line we're talking about is actually, no it's not, it's actually this one. I did that twice now. It's actually that one there. It's quite a sharp line, and it is way more than 45, you know. Yeah, it does. It looks very good, and it does look like the ship. That is that line there, which is that line there for our sticker, and it does. It works very well. And you can see what I was talking about, the white. There's an awful lot of white here, which dictates how long this sticker is. And it is. It's all in one piece, which is why we need such a big sticker. So that is that section there. So we got our grey line. Let's call this for what it is. Our grey line, that one. Our white line, that one. We had our end point, that one there. Now we need to know, where does the white end? Well, we don't need to measure these because we already have them marked out here. So I'm going to say here. So let's move the camera over. So as you can see, we're kind of just working this out as we go. So we've moved over. So we are now here on the grid, which is this line. Let's double check that. That line, that line. There is another line there. Why is there another line there? Let me just double check. I'm bringing you back here because this sticker is quite difficult. I did say it was difficult, but I do believe I did pick up another mistake. So I know we fixed up this line, which is that line there, and the next line was the white, if you remember, off the funnel, and the very next line was the tip. Now I've put this line in because this is this line here, but technically the next line across for the tip was actually there. How did I pick this mistake up? Because the lines weren't working properly forward. So again, I'm going to take that line out and I'm going to change that one more time. I was just trying to rub that line out there. Not really remove it, but just make sure that it's, you know, not painfully obvious, because we have two lines there now. The other reason why that was a mistake, if you remember, this line coming down was to dictate our drop in the deck from one deck to the other. And it just didn't work out because we gridded this up for a reason. So technically the right line is actually there, which also dictates the line. So now we need to put that back. And I suppose what really sort of threw me off there was we put in a couple of extra lines, which was where we're going to place the sticker, and obviously where the deck was, which was not there before. So we added a couple extra lines, and it did kind of get a little bit confusing. But if you follow along, your 1, 2, 3, it technically should be on your 4th line coming down, and that is very good because it does still work with everything else. It didn't really change much down here or here, but it does change a lot here. Now, if I remember correctly, does this one carry on through the ship? I'm not sure. Let's double check. That line there is the one we're talking about, and it does not carry on for the rest of the ship, so that's fine. That's our line there, which is just there. And the other line we put in, which was not there, was dictating where the ship drops down here, which is what we have here. So now it's all back to where it should be. It's kind of like different parts in the one sticker. So that is all of that, all organised, although we have not got our start point, which was what I was trying to work out. And I did recall that we put a line down from there to sort of say where this started, which was actually that line there, I believe. Yeah, because that's just inside the dip. That's that one there, and this one kind of dictated where it comes up. And then obviously the sticker came around, and you can see how it's all starting to take shape. So we need one more measurement here, which is this one here, because we didn't go to the very end. We used this part of the ship to dictate it. This was just a line coming down. So we need to work out what that is as far as the illustration, and then onto the ship itself. Because we're working with real shapes now, not the actual ship. Oh, could we actually use that other measurement, which was approximately 7.5? You could call 8. Let's go 7.5. Let's double check it here. 7. Yeah. I think 8's too much. You probably get away with it, or you're just out of the screen. Let's see. Let's go. Change the ruler. 7, 8. 8's probably a little too much. Let's go 7, and that'll work it out. Again, being careful not to scratch the ship. Although it is a bit hardier, this paint, which is why I went for it. I do find that lacquer paint here, it is getting a little damage there. Yeah, let's put the line on. So basically we need that 7mm, 8mm line on there, and that is on, that's the dip there, and that's there. So 1, 2, 3, 7, let's go 7.5, nearly 8, somewhere in the middle there. Let's put one on the other side, because it is needed on the other side. Where are we? So we got 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's put that line in, and we do need it, and I'll show you why. And again, once you got your ruler on there, because I'm using a bit of a crappy grey lead, I can't find the pencil sharpener. Keeping that line in there, we want to almost replicate that other line, which is bring this one through, just like that. Why was this line needed? If you remember on the blue, it comes up, around here, over the top here, from this point here, and it kind of came down through there. Let's double check with the plan. The plan does have that very defining sharp line there, which is between there and there, which gives us our kind of long elongated diamond shape. We can always double check that by double checking that shape's in, and that'll give us that shape. So let's put that line in. There is our line in. Let me move the camera over. The camera is now over. When I was saying the elongated diamond shape, there it is there. Pretty happy with it, and it is elongated, that's why I said that. It's not a proper diamond, that's for sure. And I'll bring in the plan. There is the plan there, and that elongated one does pick up the blue as well. Don't just look at the white. So that shape is in there, so we know we're on the right track. So let's move forward again. There we are, forward. We have our first line of our blue up to here. Let's put in our other lines, which is, we put these two lines in to sort of say, well, that's my round shape. Let's put a round shape in there. Again, I'm going to use my tape. I know it's in front of the camera and I can't do much about that, but I'm just going to quickly put a round shape in there, only because I was pretty happy with the roundness of the tape on this angle. There it is there. Although on your angle, no, it's going to need something a little sharper. Why something a little sharper? We kind of wanted a roundness to come around the top. So it's got to be a fairly sharp line. And I think this will almost do it. Let's try that. It's got a much smaller diameter. Yeah, that's a whole lot better. It didn't look so straight. The other line kind of looked a little too straight. Because we want a fairly decent bend here. We've got a straight here. And what do we have here? We now need this to come up and across. You can cheat by using something that's quite big and round, and we might just do that. Unfortunately, I have to get you out of the way there. Is this going to work? No, it's not, because by the time it touches one angle and the other, it's too sharp. So we need something bigger. How do you know what you need? Well, we've got this point and we've got this point. So you need something that's shallow in the bend. And it is, it's quite a nice bend. It's quite a long bend, so you need something fairly big, because we want to keep somewhere in the middle of that, because we want to keep some of the white line. And I kind of like the nice roundness in it. Some would argue that it's fairly straight from there and then it dips. You know, you could probably do that and then put a slightly different line in there and obviously then hand do it. But let's try the all round first. So here I have a plate. It's kind of got the right roundness. Let's just go up there 3/4. It's probably a little tall actually. Let's come down a little bit. Like that. Yeah. And then we can kind of, let's do a slight bit of roundness there, and that should actually cut that line down a bit. Still having a roundness, but it's a bit off-shaped the way that actually was anyway. So let's have a closer look. Oh. So now I'm going to go from this square point to the halfway part around there. And then I'm just going to change that line just a little bit from there back around to hopefully meet the other one. Yeah, I'm more happy with that. That's much better. So there it is up close. We've got our roundness there. Probably could bring that just in a fraction. I might do that as well. Yeah, happy with that. Now, we still have one more line to take out here, which is that blue strip. So we know that actually blue strip starts from there, coming down to almost here. We got to cut that out later or mark it, because that there's kind of like this is white, but the blue kind of comes around underneath here and back up. I'll bring the plan in and show you. I'm probably going to have to zoom in here even a little more. You can see it's almost virtually nothing. And then a blue line comes up. We are able to do this because we're trying to keep the white and let the blue come through. So all we got to do is just chop out enough sticker. The sticker will be short and not come over here, which will allow the blue to come in. And again, we probably want it from the point there and then pretty smooth here, and from this point onwards coming up. That's pretty easy to do. Let's do that. So there we have that section. We only need from there to there. So pretty much if we just even eyeball this and say how much blue do we want, very little but enough to show. How about there, and then we're coming up to here. Let's put that line in. It is a bit of a line, isn't it? Yeah, it is a very sharp line. It wouldn't be that hard to replicate the way they did this ship. It's making more and more sense as I go along. So there's that one there, down to there. Yeah, that'll create that nice line, and then we just travel that one through. Just going to eyeball that from here. The thing is, there's a lot of eyeballing to do in this. And when I say eyeball, I mean just like you got the basic lines and then you just got to work it out yourself. And obviously that's the blue. We want to not make that as harsh, so we travel it around. The pencil really does need to be sharpened. And of course, when I freehand cut this out, I'll fix that up. So that's basically our sticker there. We've got the first parts of our sticker, which is, oh, let's come around here. Let's zoom out. Which is around the top. We're keeping all of this white. This part here will be exposed, which will all be blue. This part here will all be the dark. And we only have one more section to work out, which is the very front section. I know we're running out of time, so let's get on with that. Actually, let's not rush it, because some people are going to need this stuff. I might just split this one. We're at like 48 minutes. Some of it's going to be chopped out, but some of it's not. So we need to work out the front section now. So we only have a little bit left to go. There's our dark blue there. We have our dark blue on our sticker. It's all kind of working out well. The next one up is we got the white line, and it is quite sharp when it cuts off. That's okay, we'll just carry that one through. No problem, because it doesn't matter this goes over. We just need to know what we're going to keep. So now we need to go from here up to this next point, which we know is 7.5, nearly 8. So let's put a 7.5, nearly 8 on here. So there is that line there, which kind of dictates that top lip. So pretty much from here, we put in a fairly straight line going across here, like that. That now looks like a 90 degree. Now, here's the other thing here. That is that's a softened bend. So let's put a softened bend in there. So using something with a very small radius, we're going to put in a softened bend here. I'm just going to use this pen. I can get in the right angle. Now I want it to go up more, like that. Coming around. Yeah, I just didn't want that sharp bend. Yeah, so, and of course freehand, of course 90 is that way, 45 is this way. I said it was going to be somewhere there. We're going to eyeball this again. So coming around something like that. And of course you can fix it up with your pencil. Soften that line just a little bit. And that gives us our end piece. Our end piece being there, I probably went a little too sharp. I could probably straighten this out. I definitely got too much angle there compared to the drawing. So let's take that out and bring that more up. Yeah, like that, around. And this is where freehand comes into it. You just do it until you're happy with it. You're happy with the picture, happy with that. Yeah, I'll ignore this section here, and I'll just cut around there, and I'll just take that line all the way through. So that'll dictate the front of the sticker, all the white here, all the blue here. The two very difficult colours right here, and obviously the end, oh, better show you. Let's move over. Let's zoom out. The end down here for the dark grey. So what we need to do now is we've got just one more to work out. Now I did say, let's bring the camera back. I did say we're going to work this one out afterwards, and I really do think that we're going to go overboard. And I will. I'm just going to chop this video and just say, I'm just going to chop this video from here because we're running out of time, and it's not going to work. It's going to be too long. Okay, so now we've worked out all the blue. We've technically worked out all the front, all off the one sticker. I really do like that. And I do believe this is where they were going when they made this plan. They basically put one on there. They painted it all the one colour. They would have put this one sticker on there, and it pretty much dictated everything. I actually think it was quite smart the way they did this. So we now need to work out where the next colour is going to go on this one sticker, because it is inbuilt into this sticker. So what we're going to do is, we know that the dark grey up here let's roll that around a bit more, is virtually in line with where the white ends. The white ends just here, so we know this sticker starts from this point. I am going to say, let's zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom in on the sticker. I am going to say this dark section probably falls, I'm going to say between here and here, almost half. Is it exact? Probably not, but it's pretty close. So let's put a half mark in, maybe a little bit more. We can see that it does go below the portholes or around the portholes. We can actually measure that from the ship. We can do that. Let's do it. So there's the ship. We got those portholes there. They are from the top. Now that plan, that kind of went, I believe it went in line with them. I actually see the plan better on the camera, just like you guys do. I'm going to call it just above, which is 12 mil down. So if we put a line 12 mil down, we'll get that exactly where it needs to be. Okay, so there's our 12 mil down. We know this is our starting point. We know this is where it turns, and it kind of comes up like this. So where does it end? We know where it starts, we know where it comes down, but where does it end? Let's work that out. It's got the ship zoomed in. Let's zoom in. I tried to zoom the paperwork. What do we got here? We do have, so we got, where are we? We have a porthole here, but we already know where this starts. It starts here. We're not worried about the top of the ship. Probably, we're only worried about the actual underside of the ship, which is here. Let me get the point. It's probably a little easier. Well, there is an actual telltale sign. If we look at the floor here, where the cannon goes, there's a round bit here where this cannon sits in. Where that cannon bit stops is exactly where that is. Let's put the floor back on and work out where that is. Okay, there's my floor section on. So we know it's in line with the round bit here. If we put another mark on the ship, as far as where this one falls, we can easily mark that one back and then work it out. So I'm going to say, kind of eyeballing it right there. So we have our new line. It's the only one that doesn't have the extra line underneath. That's okay. Let's work out the length of that one. I'm going to call that 29. So we come back from our very first line, 29. Happy with that? Yeah, happy with that. 29. And then we'll have exactly where to start and end. So there's our sticker. We got our very first line there. Let's mark 29. See, there's no guesswork in this. It's very easy to work out. Well, that's 39. That'll be a mistake. Let's go 29. Let's just put a line there so we know it. We know it starts off here. We know it ends here. And it kind of comes around, I don't know, 45 maybe? Let's double check that. Well, there's the plan. It definitely does come down. It's not on a definite 45, although, you know, it's not bad either. So what I think I'm going to do here is, we know exactly where this falls, and we know that kind of comes around at an angle. I think I'm going to use something round to put in the round section, and then I'm going to pretty much hand draw this and work it out. So what I'm trying to say is, we know it ends here. We know it kind of comes down this way. If I put in a faint line, we know it kind of comes down this way. Put in a faint line. And this is where it kind of ends. So, like that. Kind of comes down the same way, like that. And this is where you may have to adjust it a little bit. Up like that. Until you're almost happy with what the picture is. This is also what we're chopping out. So You can keep playing with this until you're happy with it. I don't mind free drawing every now and then. It kind of works, and I just kind of keep going over the sections that I want, and until I get something that kind of represents exactly what I want, almost something just like that. You see me do that on the camera. You don't have to be exactly perfect, but there it is. And it was pretty simple in the end, even without using all the other stuff. The other stuff is to show you, you can use other bits and pieces to help you. If you wanted to clean that line up, you could use something that kind of gives you your roundness, and just slowly you could, you know, just use bits and pieces to help you get what you need. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Although I do like the freehand one on this one. Why? Because it's not exact. That's what I like about it. I just already know where it starts. So, yeah, and that looks good. I can imagine this now as the dark blue, the white, the black here, the light blue. I'm kind of really seeing it. I like that freehand shape, and I'm going to leave that just where it is. Same when I cut these out. I'm going to kind of put my own little twist on it as I use the knife. So that is basically our sticker done. Now, I do know that this episode was really, really long, but in this one episode, you pretty much did the whole camouflage. We had all the markings here, we went through them one by one, and as you can see, if you would imagine this white, it's all there. It's all there, the blue is there, the dark grey is here, and obviously the light blue up the front here dictates the front. So with this one sticker, the entire camouflage is done. And I really like that about this ship. It's fantastic. So now you're wondering, okay, you've now got the sticker out. So what are we going to do now? Well, we're going to use the ruler to cut some sections out, because this one here does dictate the drop of the ship, comes across, comes down, and we will follow that sticker all the way through, because it doesn't matter if it goes past the white line and onto the ship, and it keeps it all there. Happy with this. Now, when I cut this out, there's going to be two problems with this sticker. Because it is so narrow here, and it is going to be very narrow just here, I'm going to suggest you cut another piece of sticker out and put over the top, so it keeps this piece in line, so it can't bend this way. What can I use to example that? I don't want to bend that either. It can't bend like that, and it stays in its shape, and same with this one over here. But because I want to paint this one separate to this one, I'm going to put two different pieces. So right now we have to cut this sticker out. Are you going to want to see this while I do it? You probably will. Where can I move you that it's going to be okay? Well, I think I'm going to leave you just there. I'm going to hop off my chair, and I'm going to just... Can I free... I don't know if I'm going to get that. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. Hang on. I was just getting set up on a different angle, and I was just thinking to myself, it's taken me probably an hour to mark this out onto a piece of tape. And this is what I was saying the other day about duplicating these, because this sticker is now to scale for this exact ship. Boy, would it be easy to duplicate this and make this into a sticker kit and put it onto the ship. It would take a seriously lot of hard work out of it. I've just sat there and marked it out. I'm pretty happy with it. It does look correct. Yeah, but all I need to do now is marking it as one thing, cutting it out as another. Okay, I've just realised the time. We're more than an hour into this episode, and I'm going to split it. So I think what we're going to do here, because we've still got more work to do, I'm going to call this episode here. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it kind of all makes sense. It kind of looks a little rough like that down there, but it does make perfect sense to me. Might look a little rough to you, but some of it is a little bit... I mean, they did this on a major scale, So we're trying to scale it down and using all the stuff that we need. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm enjoying it. Anyway, any more questions or anything else, give me a buzz, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Okay, bye for now.